Have you ever heard yourself say something to your child and immediately thought, wow, that sounded like my parents? Even though you promised yourself you would be different, most parents can name at least one thing this word they would never repeat. The shouting, the criticism, the silence, the pressure, the harsh discipline, the lack of affection. Yet sometimes those same patterns show up anyway. Because the way you were parented often becomes automatic. Under stress, frustration, or fear, you tend to fall back on what is familiar. So when your child misbehaves, when you are overwhelmed, when you have asked them 5 times already not to do something, that is usually not when you respond from the parenting books you read. That is where you respond from your conditioning. And sometimes that conditioning has been passed down for generations. The good news is the goal isn't to be a perfect parent because you can't even be a perfect parent. It is to be an aware one because you can't change a pattern you don't recognize. But once you recognize it, you can choose differently. So the next time you catch yourself repeating a pattern, pause before you justify it with that's how I was raised. Instead, ask yourself questions. Is this creating the kind of relationship you want with your child? Then you identify the trigger. Does it happen when you are stressed, disrespected, embarrassed, or overwhelmed? And don't just stop the old behavior. You have to replace it. So if you grew up with shouting, you have to practice calm correction. If you grew up with criticism, you have to practice coaching. If you grew up with silence, you have to practice conversation with your children. Small changes repeated consistently can create new family patterns, and that is how generational change begins. So tell me in the comment, what is one parenting pattern you promised yourself you would never repeat but still catch yourself slipping into sometimes?